boy, I've never felt this motivated to produce a video in my life. So today was really the day. I just got back from the theater watching the Minecraft movie. What did I think of it? Well, first thing I'll say is that this was my first time going to a movie theater at all in these not-so-roaring 20s, as I'm gonna call it, old sport. So what did I think of it? Well, I don't know where to start. It's hard for me to remember it. I guess the only thing I can say is that Chicken Jockey actually wasn't super chaotic. I don't know, I'm trying to explain this without reading a script. But what can I say? I don't even care about spoilers, I'm just gonna speak. So kind of near the end of the movie, there was this fight scene. Yeah, this like giant fight, like more than a fight, it was a full-on war between piglins and good guys. This gave me flashbacks to Element Animation's war video because Henry made it to the top of a tall structure, then fell, making you think this was the end, but then he gets saved last second. Now that is definitely a reference to Element Animation because, well, they helped make the animations in the live shows. This just came to mind. So there was a reference to Technoblade in the movie, yes, the pig with the crown, but I unfortunately did not capture it on my phone, and I got mad about it. Moments like that ruin experiences. What else was there? Steve did, like, appear kind of suddenly with fire, and he did go, "I am Steve," just like in the trailer, or teaser, that's what I meant to say. So it turns out they wanted to go back home, like, right after they entered the world, but then the night came, like, super fast, and they had to run away from mobs, but while doing so, Henry smashed into a tree. Actually, maybe I can recreate it. Oh! And after crashing into the tree, we kind of got into something like this. He slowly picks it up, just like we saw in the teaser, and then he built a house out of it. Well, actually, it wasn't a house, it was more of a tower to keep safe from the mobs. And that was the structure they were on top of, like, in the trailer. No, teaser. Why do I keep saying trailer? Where Steve was introduced. So, okay. Then the next day is when they travel to Midport Village, which is that village with the arch above it. And eventually, Steve sings a song about his lava chicken. Steve's lava chicken, it's tasty as hell. I don't remember how it went. And what else was there? So Garrett the Garbage Man Garrison is a gamer from 1989, holds world record title. That reminds me. So Garrett the Garbage Man Garrison, he goes by the nickname Gargar a lot. He owns this, like, place. I don't know if it's a shop or museum or whatnot, but it's full of, like, gaming memorabilia, like old gaming stuff, because he's a gamer from the 1980s. Yeah, 89. Eventually, you find out that he is broke and is being evicted from that place, so he goes to this auction at a storage facility thinking it will somehow make him money. It was like $950 he spent on that. And that's how he acquired this box with random junk in it. And that's where we found the cube. Right. I need to explain this. So Steve, yep, just like in the trailer, he yearned for the mines as a child, and then came back as an adult, and that old man did not turn out to be Steve, like he never said anything about it. Steve in the future, going in the past, whatnot. This is not a time travel movie, what am I saying? He does get chased away, and then comes back years later. Yeah, it's a doorknob salesman. Then he remembers the mine that he went to as a child, and decides to go back. He goes mining, finds this cool artifact and that cool artifact, puts them together, combines the orb and the crystal, and it opens a portal to the world of Minecraft, where he builds a dirt structure and makes a new friend named Dennis. Eventually, he finds a nether portal. That is after building like some kind of amusement park and other cool stuff around the world. And that's when he finds the nether and meets the villain of this story. What was her name? Madagosha or something? Female villain, that's a rare thing. And that thing, that glowing thing Steve had on him was called the Orb of Dominance. So it's a Minecraft Dungeons reference, something I have not played. And Madagosha, what's her name? She wants that Orb of Dominance to take over the overworld, which does happen later on, but she loses that fight. He ends up trapping Steve, but Steve tells Dennis to take that thing to the overworld. To the real world, hide it under his bed, and somehow it ended up at a garage storage facility auction thing. And that's how Garrett got a hold of it. Henry finds it in his shop or whatever it's called, and then it does lead them to the mine, which is exactly where I thought they would go. And it turns out Natalie and Henry are brother and sister. They don't have any parents. Garrett became their mentor, and Dawn is just some woman they met who works with animals. Right, Henry is new to his school. He is able to make some kind of prototype jetpack, which launches a skeleton model into the sky, but it ends up crashing into a potato chip factory, warehouse, whatever it's called. It's only day one in this new town in Idaho, and they've already done something like this. So yeah, Natalie and Henry are living on their own in a house. Not a good start, I guess. So yeah, eventually, Natalie and Dawn follow Henry and Garrett to the mines. They get sucked into the portal. They come out one by one, and yeah, they do eventually meet a sheep. And that's kind of about it. Right, Steve built multiple houses, all on his first day, too. One of them was entirely made out of sheep wool, and it was pink. Right, that egg reminded me again. Yeah, Steve throws eggs at the villain at the end, which is comical, I guess. I don't know, I don't have access to the clips right now. I guess I'm just gonna explain this kind of stuff and, I don't know, just leave footage up like this. Haven't gotten one of these yet. Anyways, when the piglins come back to the overworld and Steve breaks out of his cage, actually he's sent back to the overworld to grab the Orb of Dominance for what's her name, and Steve wants that Orb of Dominance, but it gets broken, so they find a new one at a woodland mansion later on in the movie, and that's where the chicken jockey happens.
Chicken jockey!
Not bad. It wasn't super chaotic. I thought it was going to be much worse. Came prepared. Oh well. So after the piglins come to the overworld, yeah, Steve gives Henry and Garrett their elytra wings, whatever they're called. Still don't know how he acquired them. And they start flying while being chased by ghasts. I guess that's absolute cinema. Eventually they do get close to the woodland mansion. They land in a jungle where they disrupt a bunch of pandas. And got that one scene, which I guess people awed over. Anyways, after flying around for a while, which was pretty epic, I guess, they land close to the woodland mansion, and Henry is searching for searching for that thing. Was it called Orb of Dominance shell? And it's in the chest room, which normally you'd expect those chests to be empty, because I've been there. Right, I'm reminded the two girls asked villagers for a map, but they never got it. And there was some, like, big fight going on in the village. I don't know, despite Garrett making a cool buckchucket, like, bucket and nunchuck weapon thing, he was no match for, what was his name? I don't remember already. But it was another piglin that had the ability to speak English. And, right, the piglins also drank a potion that prevents them from turning into zombies. I've never done this before. How am I going to do this? Commentating while playing survival. This is stuff I need to remember too. And this is something I need to publish today. I don't know. I don't know what to talk or rant about. I'm not a professional yapper, I'm the quiet guy. Right, I think I was the only quietest guy in the theater. Did not make any noise during the chicken jockey scene.
Not bad!
And also did not pause the movie or show a disclaimer or have like warning outside the place at all. I guess they finally got it under control. But hey, I went to first in these not so roaring 20s, old sport. Right! There was an entire mine scene. They got into the mine carts, which went really fast, and I don't know. They were supposed to go one way to a safe room because this piglin monstrosity, I think it was, probably wasn't, beast, whatever, something like giant piglin was coming after them. They were going to a safe room in the minecarts, but ended up going the wrong way to Steve's creeper farm, and that's where we see a bunch of creepers like around them. Garrett has to push the cart towards the activator rails, and then they start going really fast. And then we get some of those like epic explosion scenes that we saw in the previews. I think after that is when they were closest to the mansion. They were also in a mine which had diamonds and redstone everywhere. I don't know what to rant about anymore. I've never done this before, like commentating on such a topic that's hard to remember while playing Minecraft Survival. I will admit, whenever I explain things like really well, it's done with a script, alright? That's my confession. This all started back in September when I made a video about something. This probably did more harm than good. That's a different topic. Why am I talking about... Ugh. What can you remember about the Minecraft movie that you saw today? At the ultimate battle scene, yeah, they set up all these iron golems. Henry accidentally put his swiftness speed boots on top of one of those iron block T structures and accidentally created some iron golem that can go faster. Is that another Minecraft Dungeons reference? I don't play that. It ended up helping them like in the ultimate war against the piglins. And right, so Henry brought a bunch of random items from the overworld, just put them in random places all over that crafting table, and created this thing that people said was a gun. It turned out to be a tater launcher, so he's launching pieces of food from the real world. And Steve, remember when he said it was no biggie that Garrett used his only ender pearl? Well, almost died fighting an enderman for it. Yeah, I think it is a big deal. Think of one last topic while you game. Eventually they are intercepted by the piglins on their way out of the mansion. And that's when Garrett is thought to be lost. But he reappears later. He is controlling a ghast. You can, I don't know, mess with their tentacles and they'll shoot fireballs. And they use that to help destroy this giant portal that the piglins came out of, which had like a purple beam on top. I don't know, that's kind of the element animation reference I remember. It was like that portal we saw in the previews, but bigger. Henry used his tater launcher to shoot an ender pearl. That's a thing I thought about years ago. Can't believe that made it. And was able to get to the top, but then falls, gets saved by Garrett. Yeah. And speaking of a prediction that did not make it, Steve actually decided to come back to the real world instead of being in the world of Minecraft. And a topic I made an entire video about ended up not being a true prediction. Steve did not stay in the Minecraft world and came back. They did not tell anybody about this world and created a game. Well, they did create some old style arcade, like fighting game. What was it called? Block Blast or something. And that's where kind of what they did. It was kind of like they were singing a song at the end. Yeah. And then kind of after it ended like that, we get some kind of like movie scenes playing during the credits. VP Marlene, that's her name, who is, I think, marrying a villager after divorcing with some man. Apparently that villager can speak English now, and Marlene only speaks villager. That was weird. My phone died, so I wasn't able to record that. It was low on battery, I tried to fix that, and it didn't go through. But I was able to record that one thing I needed.
Chicken Jockey!
And can't think of anything else to rant about, so I'll just go to bed and start editing the video. Peace! Here's something I didn't mention. My dad was questioning the pig and crown thing. Can somebody in the comments explain that? Also, I only uploaded one recording to YouTube, which was, of course, the chicken jockey reaction. And this happened. I thought going to the theater for the first time in years would be a surreal experience, but no, it wasn't. A creeper blows up and the zombies get into the tower, go to the very top of it. That's where Steve appears and fights them off. After Steve cooked his lava chicken, he didn't want to eat it because it was so hot from lava, but Garrett decided to eat it. He was strong enough. Another thing, Steve's Dennis, which was that wolf he tamed, spent a lot of time in the overworld. None of the things I am saying are in order, of course. That's just how my talking went. This video was actually supposed to be published yesterday, but editing took so long, so here it is a day late.